Next item up is reorganize the board.
I'd like to nominate Steve Barrett as chair.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Ayes have it.
Ayes have it. Thanks.
You do such a great job.
We're in it together.
I understand that. Next item up is approve the minutes of 2/8, 2/15, 3/8.
The 3/8 you haven't seen yet, so you guys will have to look at them too. It was a very short meeting, so these are the minutes.
Oh, that was this morning.
Yes.
Wow, you're quick. My goodness. I will need a motion for approval of the minutes of
I gotta sign the other two.
3/8.
That's warning. That's. There you go.
Oh, health officer, I'll have to change that.
And then I didn't know if sort of wood and timber ground could be up here, the tree work.
I don't know, he's not in Newport Center anymore.
Oh,
Who is it?
Charlie Drown.
He isn't.
He bought a house in Newport City.
What?
Yeah, but I think he can still do that
Even if he's not a town resident.
because it's wooden timber, isn't it?
Yeah, the
yeah,
wooden
but the
timber.
wooden timber is appointed by the state.
Yeah, he can do that, but I don't know about the tree warden. I didn't know
I
about
was
that.
thinking maybe you could make a tree work.
No, he hasn't resigned. He just told Dennis that, but he hasn't
Okay.
resigned.
Don't we have one of the Hart boys that's an arborist? No? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody different.
What boys?
Tom Hart's boy. We've got one that is on that road.
Oh, he lives up there in Goff Collins Mill on that road where Laterno is.
Yes, I think
Clark
so.
Mountain? Oh, Zach Hart.
Zach. That's
Oh,
it.
he works for, where Nikki Daigle works, Landvest.
Oh, so he might
I
he
think
might be an
he might
arborist.
be an arborist.
Yeah,
He
maybe
might,
we
he
should
might
check
wanna do
it.
it.
Yeah, I want to check
Did
into it.
anybody make a motion?
Wait.
Oh.
We're signing the minutes now.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be done.
What did that say? That's
At
okay.
edge tanks. And Mike was, if he counted, when I asked him about the warranty on that, he was fighting with Ad Edge to get
Yeah.
them here at the same time to fix that, and they are going to be installing new treatment.
You turn this on.
I did. And I took it off from pause, so it is.
So he got his stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, from that one forward.
Okay, is there a motion on the floor for,
I make the motion to accept the minutes as
It's printed.
printed.
I'll second it.
2/8, 2/15, and 3/8.
Yes.
motions made and seconded? Any admissions, corrections, or errors?
I did not see any.
I didn't either. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right?
Opposed, no. Ayes ayes have it. Minutes are approved. Motion carries. Back to you. Next item up is appearances by local citizens and visitors. Barry.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. You have anything to ask me? We have an unresolved complaint. 340 days. I won't let it expire without a resolution. I guarantee that. There still is a cure that can be negotiated, but not the way you suggested. It has to be done by law to the letter. You can't have it both ways. You think you can deny and also get a cure. It doesn't work that way. If you deny it, you don't get a cure. If you admit, and the right way to do it is, I'll explain it to you, but I don't know if I should waste my time. I've already explained this. Would you like to hear it? The proper way to do it, to make everybody happy and resolve this.
What did you say, Barry? There's an unresolved, what did you say?
Unresolved complaint. I mean, they said they did no wrong. I say they did. And I tell you, there is a way to do it.
We fully understand.
Okay. So you want to leave it that way, or would you like to hear the way it can be resolved to both satisfactory, I think?
No,
I thought we answered his complaint.
we did. I thought so too. So,
Okay, then it remains unresolved, and I will take some type of action within the next 340 days. I have 1 year, and I got a little help. Maybe they'll do it. The Attorney General's office, I've spoke to them in the past. They consider taking it. They're not too thrilled with what they've seen. I've shown them a lot of videos and documents. If they take it, I don't have to make a move. It's all theirs. So you can, it might happen, it might not. I'm going to wait on them. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you what I've done in the past and what the real deal is with some of the opinions I've found state level. So this is the day of reckoning. I'll tell you to tell it all. I really didn't want to tell you, but why not? Now was a good time. Year and a half, I was very frustrated with the $175,000 missing from the school, the almost $500 for water, and I couldn't, I said I got to do something. So I put a big file together with videos and documents, and I sent one file to the state auditor's office, and I sent one file to the Attorney General's office. And months and months passed by, and I thought they had forgotten about me. So one day I got a call from the state auditor's office, and he started talking to me. He looked this thing over, he apologized, and he's taking it real seriously. And he was a bit disturbed by what he saw. And I know he was disturbed because he wrote me back an email the next day on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. And he told me, here's what he said. He said, he was thinking of doing a forensic audit on those two items. And he told me, you know what? I really like that. What you really should do is get them all out. Get rid of them all, including the town clerk. Get rid of them all. I said, that sounds good and everything, but no one votes and no one runs, so that's not really a possibility. So he said, I'll tell you what, I think those two items are too old. He goes, keep at it, and you can mention my name, he said. His name is Jeff Hoffa. He is the state auditor. He didn't have was one of his employees call. He himself called. He gave me his personal email. Keep at it. So he doesn't think too favorable of you. And so I waited another month or two. I didn't wait. Another month or two passed, and the Attorney General's office called me. And they were looking the stuff over, and they were disturbed too. And they said, we agree with Jeff. You got to get new select board and town clerk. This is what they said. I'm not just coming up with this. And they said, if you have any open complaints, we'll consider doing something. At the time, I had no open complaints. So I called them back last week, and I said, I got another serious problem. one of the, a member of the body came up to me and said, we were talking about politics, and he said, don't worry, they'll burn your house down and you'll never know who did it. Now my wife's afraid. She says, don't go there no more. And when I spoke to the Attorney General's office, I said that. And she says, yeah, give me an open complaint, which I have, and I'm going to give it to them. And she said, you've got to go and file that with the state police. She goes, that's too serious a threat of arson because you're being involved in politics. So I went to the state trooper, and he was disturbed by it too. And I tried to get the police report, and I believe it's an open case. He says, we can't give it to you because we're still investigating it. So I don't know, he definitely, he went down and interviewed this person who was on the body here. I'm not going to mention his name. I don't have to. And so I'm out to do anything I can to protect my wife, who's scared. I'm not scared. Now I'm fighting every which way I can. The open meeting laws are powerful. I'm going to use them to the max. I don't like what's going on. That's all I got to say.
Thank you very much. Moving on, we have a road commissioner's report, and Fred's not here, so I think it's probably plowing. And the letter from the principal last time, it was unfinished whether we were going to.
Mm-hmm.
You giving that any more thought? The school said anything?
No, they
I
haven't.
thought we kind of left it at we couldn't do anything this year and see what.
Okay.
We were going to investigate prices and stuff, weren't we?
Finding somebody to work on a part-time basis for what we need them to plow a sidewalk or to snow blow a sidewalk, and then to go around and sand it after. I mean, some days you're talking working 5-6 hours. You may not work again for 2 weeks
Or a month. Yeah.
or a month. Yeah. No, it's a
So maybe we should, if we're serious about doing that, is put together some sort of a bid spec that, that need to be the lawn mowing
maybe,
guy.
yeah, right, exactly.
Street
They could
sweeping
keep track
guy
of
Or
it.
something
Yeah.
could come do that for us. So.
But it'd certainly be a part-time employee for the town.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it be better if they were a part-time employee of the school?
Well, or maybe we
employee
can
of the
just,
Or an employee of the school, exactly, yeah.
well, we hire someone to sweep our streets. He's not an employee.
Oh, we contract with them.
But
Yeah.
that's a contract.
Have
Yeah.
a con-
So
do
if
a
we had a
bid, do
contract.
If we had a contract,
Do
that,
like Kudzu that plows the-
Yeah.
Right.
plows the
Yeah.
snow.
yeah, we could have a contract with somebody.
Right, they'll
Yeah.
be responsible for keeping the sidewalk.
Correct, yeah, and they can bill X amount of dollars an hour, and
Yeah. Or just give us a yearly price. Sometimes that's in
Right.
your favor.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sometimes
yes,
it is not.
Right.
So what do you want to put in there?
That we have not
Taking any action.
exhausted, that we're not going to do it, but we're going to put together a bid spec, send it out, and see if anybody's interested in
taking a job.
taking a job on for next year. It's not going to happen this year.
No, we can't start now.
And that way we can see what's involved down there, whether there's something that needs to water shut off or needs to be lowered or
Right.
raised or
They
stuff
can
that's
look
in
at
the
all
way.
that.
Right. You're just not going to get somebody out there plowing right now.
I agree. Okay.
Okay, so I'll just put the select board, we'll put together a big spec for the plowing of the sidewalks,
And we'll get from the school what areas they want to have done.
put an ad in the paper. Okay.
All right, and then was that it for that? We feel good about that? Okay. And we got a letter from Richard DeRossi.
Yeah, and Fred's got a copy, so I don't know if you want to wait till the next meeting. to
Yeah.
I
get
think
that.
we need to talk to Fred
Right.
because it
Oh,
sounds like there
absolutely.
was some stuff set in somewhere that he moved and this and that. And we need to know what he did for sure.
Absolutely.
If that's the case,
Right.
can't
So you
really
wanna
take
table
action
that,
on
so-
that.
And it said that we
So
were
we can
down
talk
there
to
and
him.
bulldozed a boulder.
Yeah, out of the way.
Well, we don't have a bulldozer.
That's what I was
I'll
thinking.
probably use the loader and just.
So do you want to put Table that till next month. We'll put that on the agenda for next month.
But we have a 50-foot right of way, and it's like 25 feet from center each way, and that was out, according to that, out to the beyond our right of way. I can't believe we're out that far, but we need to talk to Fred.
Right. And maybe someone can answer my question. Is that first mile of the Buzzell Road designated a historic area?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
No,
Okay.
I know.
Okay. So. We'll table
Is there
this.
there's a select board house down there? Is that what I read in that?
Well, he said that a select board member at one time lived in it.
Okay, yes,
You know, this town's been around for
Yes.
200 years.
yes,
so
okay.
could be. I don't know. Wasn't me.
It wasn't you? Okay.
No.
You know,
Okay, so if he asks, we'll
I think
just-
at one time Cecil Lawson lived there, but was he ever a selectman
I almost think he was.
Oh, maybe
at one
that's
point? Well, maybe. I almost think he did live there for a while.
A long time.
But I mean, you could ask Fred, that, if he knows anything about that, moving that boulder. I mean,
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
did.
he's got a call. I gave the
Okay,
guys a call
all
like
right.
that.
Yeah, see what he's got to say about
I'm
it.
just concerned about the wires or
Wires.
stuff that if they're becoming exposed, we don't need to
Right.
hit them in
Right.
our right of way.
No.
But it sounds like the way he's plowing or grading that he's moving the road. It's,
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, this gentleman's also had yearly complaints
He
to
blocked
the
that
town.
culvert one time too.
Yeah.
He didn't like the water running on his land, so he blocked the culvert and it washed the road out
Oh,
years ago.
that's not good.
Speaking of roads, you want to hear this one? You see, we got that grant. Do you see that in your packet?
Yeah.
All right, nothing from you haven't heard anything on the roads or anything? That I haven't either.
No. I mean, complaints about the roads today?
Yeah, no.
No.
I just was, if we could have, put it in the minutes and have Fred respond to it if
Yeah,
we
no.
had any issues. Next item up is adage.
Water,
I'm
see?
sorry, water, sewer, solar panel report. I made myself a note. Sign the USDA loan documents. Good evening.
I've got those.
I had a question for Mike if he was going to be here because our arsenic treatment plant, as you know, sprung a leak.
The other
The other one, and we were trying to get. It's under warranty, from what I
Oh,
understand.
it is?
Yeah.
It is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can just go through the whole packet and do
Has
what you
Adage
want.
been
Do
responsive?
Not yet.
Oh.
you want to go through these?
So we didn't know.
You got a contact there?
Did
Yeah,
did you look at these? Did you guys look at the email?
Use all the help we can get. What's that now?
Did you look at the email that I sent you relative to all those bond documents? Guess not.
I did not, no.
I did not either.
Okay.
When did you send it?
A while ago, we got those way.
Oh, February 15th.
Wow.
Anyway,
I
they're.
might have opened it at work and said, oh crap, I can't read all this at work, and that's where it ended.
This is nothing different than
No,
originally what everything was bonded for, correct?
That's it.
Oh, well, we've been around the block on that already.
Mm-hmm. Those were done.
Sounds like he stopped.
No.
No? Oh, sounds like he stopped.
Has it gone up for bond sale yet? Or is not anything that we are?
So that's something that Paul Giuliani takes care of.
Right. Okay. I didn't know if you guys were kept in the loop. That,
We're not really
Okay.
on that end of the bond sale. That's really not something we would be involved with.
So at that point, our community bank loan will be done.
So after you sign these loan documents here, that this is essentially will close the USDA loan.
Yep.
So USDA will provide you with the money that you've been carrying on your bridge loan,
Mhm.
so that you can pay off that bridge loan.
great. Community bank will like that. Wow.
And then going forward,
Three places.
we'll just send them we'll pay JP Sucker like we do. submit the
That's
bill to USDA and be done with it. USDA will pay us back.
Right, so from here forth, you're using
Grant money.
the grant money.
Because we spent
we-
the 283.
Okay, we spent all we need to spend.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
good.
right.
Good.
Yeah.
Always nice to spend somebody else's money.
Yeah.
It is our money.
Yes.
So Steve, on the old system,
Yes,
is it the vessels
yes.
that are leaking?
Yeah,
One or
one.
two or?
One vessel, it is getting worse.
Okay,
It appears to be a defect in material
okay,
and or workmanship, the construction of it. So, and what we wanted to do is coincide the arrival of the new machine and have adage here so that they can repair the old one, either before or after. I just thought it would be an ideal thing. So,
I will reach out to them.
How
thank you.
bad is it leaking now?
It had one pinhole,
Right, I know.
and it
Must
has
have grew.
2 now pinholes. So,
Still just pinholes though.
yes,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought they'd get bigger.
in the fiberglass. So I don't know if the surging of the pumps causes it to flex or whatever. I don't know. You won't know until you get the material out of it and then look inside and see what's happening to the tank.
There's some spots in there you need to sign.
So are we covered 100% on that, or are we gonna have to change the material at the same time
Well,
and that
the
costs
material
us?
life expectancy of the material, I think, is only 2 years old now. We changed that 2 years back,
Okay.
I
And
think.
it's good for 3.
And it weren't that long ago.
5.
Oh, it's good for 5. I was thinking
believe
3.
it's-
Okay.
Maybe it's 3.
I-
But
Mike
that
would
was
know better.
that was a question that Mike had is, we need to provide that back truck
Yes.
to draw that stuff out and then put it back in, I guess, that we used. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's that whole,
I'm gonna just change the date here because it's not the 15th of March, it's the 8th. So,
and if the media needs to be replaced, then that's another, we need to make sure that everything comes together.
Right.
So,
Because that wasn't inexpensive.
no, it was not. And we need to notify Casella. Remember the
That's right.
getting
and
rid
that
of the
go
old
around.
stuff was.
Yeah. They didn't want it at first, and then finally,
Yeah.
But adage sold.
But that should be an easier process
Should-
now
should
that they know what it is. So
Yeah, I think Mike's got a in over there or something now for them people.
okay, so these are done, so I'll get that over to Misty like
Yes.
Monday.
Yep.
I'll fax it right over to her.
great.
You should fax it over to Misty and Lori and probably then mail them the hard copy
Mhm.
or a hard copy.
Perfect. Okay, now you guys have to sign this amendment for Alderson Elliott.
So this is for the water meters.
Mhm.
So as a condition of using rural development money, rural development requires that communities either have water meters or install water meters if they don't have them in order to use their funding,
Mhm.
in order to qualify for their funding. So as part of the overall bond vote for this project, it included the new treatment system, and it included upgrading all the residential and commercial buildings in town with new water meters. So this is the next phase essentially where we are now looking at preparing contract and bid documents for the meter project. So that's what this is for. It is an amendment to the original design agreement. It's actually a cost that was included in the original bond vote. It's been projected, was carried in the total project cost the entire time. We kind of broke it out so that we had the treatment system project and then the meter project and then the total of the two just for clarity purposes. So we're moving on to the next phase at this point. And if you concur with the amendment, We're expecting to try to get this out to bid sometime in April. Excuse me, so we can get a meter installer on board and get this underway. USDA has seen this. They have reviewed this. Both Misty and Jonathan have reviewed this document, and they have provided their concurrence with this and moving forward.
So you wanna sign 2 of them?
Or do you need the full board to sign?
Just the authorized representative for the project.
That was you, yeah, as a designated.
We said we'd be your backup if you weren't available.
Sunguard would have had a full crew over there today.
I know. Yep,
Happy day to work out.
it is, but they're picking away at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So did he send you back any information relative to shutdown?
No, I still haven't seen that yet. I'm
Okay.
still waiting, and they're still plugging away and getting things lined up. From the meeting, they indicated that it would actually be this week where they were expecting to have their electrical subcontractor on site. And at this point, I don't believe that electrical work has started yet. So they're a little bit behind from where we had expected them to be, or where they said they would be. But they're still well within the schedule. And the treatment system isn't expected to arrive until early April still. So they still have a little bit of a window. I'm gonna continue to push them. I don't think it really makes a lot of sense given how much contract time there still is remaining to shut down, especially if they're going to be pushing up close to when that treatment unit arrives. It doesn't really make sense for them to shut down for a week and then start back up. So I'm going to still continue to push them.
Good.
So
They've got the inside of the building marked out, it's all done.
they do. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then all sheetrocked and then water.
Sheetrock painted. There's the protective level below. They're not doing a lot of the mechanical piping on the interior because they don't want to leave piping terminated and then have the unit come in and have to make some modifications.
Have it off that.
Exactly.
I know. I
Exactly
understand
right.
that. Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah.
Was 3 inches higher.
right. Yeah. Even
That makes
half-
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that makes
they're-
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's not other than electrical, there isn't a tremendous amount of the mechanical piping they can do inside the building until that unit arrives. So
But at least they'll be able to they won't have to go to the town garage, then to the building.
go
Put it right to the building.
slide it right in the
Yeah.
building as soon as it arrives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I did
Assuming
meet-
they can get the truck up
Yeah.
up the
did
access
meet with-
road. Yeah.
I did meet with Fred and Mike, and I told them that the building was going to be ready to accept it, so they didn't have to have a place
Good.
Yeah.
cleared out.
Good.
So,
Sounds like everything's going good up there.
and they are, if you need some heavy equipment or whatever, well, they got it.
Yeah, they've got it. They got all the
These
heavy
guys,
gear.
their guy is there every day.
Yes.
He takes pictures, he takes notes.
Good.
He has a sheet that he fills out every single day as
That's
to what they've
amazing.
done. He's
Mark, he's,
Yeah,
he's
Mark
very good at what he
just
does.
Yeah.
very
Very,
good.
very good.
Very good. All right, anything else?
That's all I have. Any questions? Any other questions about the project or the water meters? Or?
Well, I had a question on the meters.
Sure.
I don't know one meter from the other,
Yep.
but I understand that there's meters that you can have a unit and read them from the road.
Right.
Or you got to walk up to them and look at them and read them. Or what are ours going to be like?
Well, for a system of this size, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to have the remote reads.
Okay.
It's they're more costly,
Oh, yeah.
and you've got a little over 100 users in the system.
Yes.
That's maybe a day of meter information.
Right.
And there really is not a huge benefit to this size system to go to a remote read.
Okay.
It wouldn't really be worth the cost for you to do it.
Okay.
So each each location would have basically a register on the exterior of the building, and it's just pick up the information. There is a handheld that goes with it, so there'll be a docking station where that handheld unit will set into here, and it'll interface with your billing system, so that meter data that's collected throughout the system will be brought into your billing system.
So can we use NEMRIC? still?
That's, yes, it'll
Okay.
interface with NEMRIC.
Oh,
There's, so as part of the meter upgrade,
Mhm.
whoever the meter, whoever the meter contractor is or the meter installer,
Mhm.
they will have to provide some interface software. But it is compatible with NEMRIC. So
Okay.
basically, you'll put your handheld in, it'll suck that information off of there from all the meters that have been read, and then that'll go into NEMRIC, so you can use the NEMRIC billing, which you already have.
Yep.
You'll use that same system.
Okay.
So once we get the meters installed,
Yes,
and once we get somebody going around and reading them,
yes.
how long does it take for the reader to get an accurate amount of usage for that household? I mean, like how many months,
So
years?
that's a really good question. And we typically recommend at least 1 year of data
Okay,
before you start making any changes to any. I'm assuming you're talking about you're leading into
How
what
we're gonna
happens-
build.
How are you going to build?
yes, exactly.
So we typically recommend at least 1 year's worth of data.
Okay,
So don't do anything to your billing structure or the way you bill water until you have sufficient data over a period of time. And we say, like I said, 1 year
yes,
to look at all that data and then say, okay, so a typical residential user who has a 5/8 by 3/4 meter uses X number of gallons. And then what you're going to want to do at that point in time, once you have that data, is you're going to want to look at what your fixed costs are for the water system,
Mhm.
and you're going to want to look at what your variable costs are for your water system. You may develop a rate structure where you have a base bill, a base rate, and then a variable rate. That base rate should cover almost all or a large percentage of your fixed cost.
okay,
So those are things that the decisions you make later on. At that point in time, we can certainly provide some information with you. We've done rate studies for other communities, Newport City. We've done rate studies for them and other communities in the area. So we can certainly help you and provide some information for you on that.
Okay. That'd be good.
When the time comes. You're members of Vermont Rural Water, correct?
Mhm.
Maybe worth. Do you get their emails?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Okay.
Mike might get them, I'm not sure.
He may, and so Vermont Rural Water, at least once or twice a year, they put on one like half day courses on rate structures.
Ooh.
So if you're a member, I don't believe it costs anything for members, or it's very minor. It may be worth you or one of you and Denise or Mike going and kind of just getting an idea. They really go through a good broad range of how to do it, why you do it, and those different scenarios. So that may be really worthwhile for somebody to attend one of those.
Definitely.
Thanks.
That's all I had.
Thanks, Jason.
Great, thank
You
you.
only
Thank
needed
you.
one of these, right?
That's your copy.
That's where we're going to get the water board involved again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Sure. That makes sense.
Okay,
Very good. Thank
thanks
you
a
very
lot.
much.
Thank you
Have a
very
great night.
much.
Yep, take care.
Drive safe.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, that's it for water, sewer, and solar.
Mhm.
Next item up is adopt the zoning bylaws. And
What's the 8/17/20 on here? What was that?
that was that in the back to read those pages.
Okay.
Remember I told you the other night.
Well, but I went to page 8, page 17, page 20, but I didn't see anything on there that.
17 through 20 had changes, right?
No, just page 17 and page 20.
Oh, you wrote 08,
Yeah,
17,
you
20.
08 on there.
And I couldn't
No, that's
find any.
page.
Hey,
That's
page.
That's page. That's PG.
Could you write a little bit clearer?
To me, it looks like 08, and I looked for 8, and I couldn't.
You wear
I-
glasses, right, dear?
I do, but I don't really need them.
So we are adopting all of the zoning.
page 8.
I do
So-
too.
Yeah. Oh,
In going through this, on page,
Now, what will happen is if you make some insignificant changes, you can adopt it, is my understanding. If not, it has to go back to the zoning board.
on page 12, section 307.4, A1. Designed to minimize flood damage to the proposed development and two public facilities, comma, utilities, and semicolon. It looks like they were adding stuff and taking stuff away, and it doesn't read well.
Okay.
And I thought if we just changed it, designed to minimize the flood damage to the proposed development, get rid of the word and, cross that out, and then just two public facilities, comma, utilities,
Okay.
Period.
period.
Yep.
That,
So public facilities, utilities, period. Okay.
doesn't that read better?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Just,
Yeah.
that was
I'm
one.
gonna get Becky to
Clarified
email
that a
it to
little
me so
better.
I can have it on the computer and then I can change
Okay.
this. She hasn't done that.
You can have this copy if you want.
No, that's okay.
I highlighted it. And then go to page 15, section 308, salvage yards.
Mhm.
And then we were given an ordinance also relative to junkyards.
Mhm.
Was that done by the planning board also?
Yeah, and I don't know why.
My question is, should this document reference this new ordinance? Because this is our old junkyard ordinance.
I was going to say, I thought we had one.
We do,
Yes.
but it was signed in 1998,
Okay. Probably time to review it.
and I signed it.
You
Been
did.
here way too long, guys. 98. But anyway,
So I don't know the answer to that question. I could call.
so I mean, and I like this, the new one is a lot more detailed, specific, and it makes more sense than the old one. So,
I think it should reference that then.
and I'd like to
Absolutely.
adopt the new ordinance too.
Want me to
That-
call him real quick?
That's
Reference
I can
the new
call
ordinance.
Becky.
it's a lot more detailed, the new
Yeah.
ordinance.
Yeah.
Yes, and
But
I like
should our zoning bylaws reference
the
the
new.
new ordinance?
Yes.
I think it should.
I think it should.
And it does, it talks about 24 VSA section 2246.
41
Right. The
subsection.
this one, the junkyard ordinance, this is the bylaws, but the ordinance is 2246 and 2291. And 2246 is part of the ordinance, of the bylaws here. It goes 2241 plus 5 plus 6.
She's
plus
watching the
Yes.
video.
Hmm?
She's here.
She did.
All right,
So she's
so
home.
that was,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
just didn't know if it ought to reference.
Becky's
our-
watching?
Yeah.
There, see? Have her call us.
Reference town ordinance.
Call us,
I
Becky.
am calling her.
No, answer your phone.
It goes to voicemail though.
It would just be the words reference town ordinance. That's all.
At the end of it.
At the end.
I'd just put it in, reference town ordinance.
Right.
Then we need to adopt the ordinance.
Okay, so just put, okay. Yeah, their intent, I do believe, was for them to do that. So on this, where it says salvage yards, reference,
Town ordinance. That's, I mean, nothing big.
No, I like the new town ordinance as far as that goes.
okay?
Yeah, I
And
think
then we
it
can-
covers a lot more detail.
This ordinance thing can become part of the, it's
Okay.
one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, okay, so I can change that.
And then on page 20. Yeah, I think it might be just a typo or a photocopy, but at section 504 at the bottom,
501, you mean?
well, on page 20, section 504,
504.
Board of Adjustment.
Boy, I'm looking at a different one.
If you,
Hmm.
I've got 504, up to the board of
You
adjustment.
got the right one?
Oh, page 20, yeah,
20.
oh, I guess my pages are messed up.
Oh, yeah. Those 19, 18.
Where the heck's my page 20? Oh, right here, okay. Yeah, okay, I'm there.
Right here at the bottom, it's legislative body, it says also may appoint, mine says ultimates.
It does.
Oh, it should
That-
be next.
But if you put R and N together, it becomes an M.
Alternates.
And that's how
Yeah.
you spell alternate, but it looks like it, does yours look like it's an M?
Yeah.
Mine does too.
Yeah.
Okay, so that should be alternate. Alter
And if you look at it on page 21 at the top, it said it's spelled right, but
Okay.
it's just, then that was it. I didn't see anything else. Very comprehensive. So, those are insignificant changes,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
So, I will need a motion to adopt one last thing. I'm sorry. At the back page 32, on section 704 repeal, it states that the current bylaws, which were adopted February 2nd, 2006, will be null and void after we adopt this new one.
Yes.
It should state March 3rd, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And that way it doesn't leave March 3rd, 2011 still out there. Okay?
Good idea. Yeah.
So
Understand?
along with February 2nd, it should read,
No.
oh,
See, February 2nd was the March one appealed the February one.
correct.
So this one's going to repeal the March 3rd.
Correct.
So I just wanted to change the date.
Yeah.
Okay? There. With those changes, I'll make a motion that we adopt the zoning bylaws with the insignificant changes along, excuse me, with the new town ordinance for regulating outdoor storage of junk and junk vehicles on non-commercial property.
I'll second it.
Motion's made and seconded. Discussion. No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it.
Along with the ordinance read. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it. Sign the orders, review. And... Did you have anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
We gotta do the appointments, but I've gotta make some changes on that.
Really mine. The
I can
health
go-
officer is
I can go change it on the computer.
Stephen Ann Edgley.
Health officer, yeah. I can go change the,
You're still willing to do it?
yeah.
Stephen Ann? Good.
Okay, so I'll go, cause I'd like a clean copy, cause this goes in the vault. Okay, and then the tree warden was, you can appoint that at a later date, I assume.
Where's the,
We kind of got to find out if
Hard
Charlie
is-
could do it.
Well, I suppose that's a state tree warden?
No, the state one you can
see
do.
at the
State one you can.
top of are appointments by the select board. And then
Yeah.
the bottom ones are recommended by the select board, appointed by the state. So I think if we're going to appoint anybody, it has to be a town resident.
Resident, you think so?
I think so. Doesn't that make sense?
It made sense to me, yes. So the only change would
Is
be.
Real the news? That's the other question. He's still
That's
yeah.
what I was going to ask. He's still.
with
He
us?
has never, he's still with us, yes, and he never has resigned.
Did you talk to Roger Sturgeon? Because
I have
Ernest
not.
said the other night that he's on the conservation board.
Yeah, I talk to him quite
And the
regularly.
zoning board.
Yeah.
Zoning, yes.
I
Well,
thought-
zoning, Ernest said the other night that he didn't want to do it.
No, that was
Right.
planning.
Yeah, planning.
That was Ernest. So
Oh,
when
right.
somebody gets done, they need to
Okay.
send us a letter of.
And I've talked to Roger just a couple weeks ago and he made no mention of it, so.
Okay.
I guess probably somebody should ask him the question.
So until Roger sends us, he's Sue's uncle.
Mhm.
So I can have a conversation with him and ask him if he is going to. If he isn't, then I will need a letter from him
And
stating that
should
he is.
we, changing the subject too a little bit, should we send bids out for our mowing?
Yep, I got a note.
You got it?
I got a note to do that like the middle of
I
March.
just
and then-
happened to think of that because usually we have been behind the eight ball.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we try to send them out the middle of March and make a decision at the April meeting so they can do the cleanup. The
Cleanup,
guy
I was
that
gonna
did it
say.
last year still is interested.
He is.
He really enjoyed it.
Wow.
And he did a good job.
He did a good job. And half the price.
Yeah,
So I wonder how much that will change.
I think the price will probably go up,
Well,
and I can't blame him, but he did a good job.
yeah,
I
I
have to
can't
say, he
complain.
did a
The
very
only
good job.
problem that the cemetery people had is he doesn't pick up the garbage,
Oh, really?
Oh,
which but
but that
Probably-
people throw out, you mean, on the side of the road or whatever?
no,
Oh.
like that they leave by the cemetery stones and stuff.
Yeah.
So they want.
Flowers and things like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, but he probably was never told.
No.
I would say he's there to mow the lawn. He's not there to
Right.
pick up garbage.
Right,
You know, God forbid you
Yeah.
pick up somebody's flowers that they wanted left there, even though they're dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're talking more about the garbage that's left there. He should.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
People going to leave garbage.
Mhm.
So I'll make a motion that we
me-
adopt the appointments
Let me go change it though. Let me just type that.
with
change
the
it real quick.
corrections. We'll wait till it comes back.
Okay.
You know, this zoning by, or this right here addresses the property down by the fire station
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Well, and then the one headed toward Hilliker store too.
Mhm.
That's an eyesore.
Also addresses the old Mead Farm, or
Yep, it does.
yeah, there's a lot of places. I know you probably can't do anything with them based on that, but because you can't write an ordinance to pick on anybody.
No,
No.
and that's not what the ordinance was written for.
Right. It's just moving forward.
Correct.
Moving forward. So.
Yeah.
But it was good. I'm reading that and when I'm thinking of those three properties, and I'm going, this isn't going to happen again.
Yeah,
Okay, I changed it to say Stephen, Ann, and Billy.
All right.
adopt it first.
I'll make a motion that we approve the appointments by the state and by the select board for the year 2018.
I'll
As
second that.
printed.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it.
And we're gonna check with Drown, or,
I can't check with John. He's no longer a member of he lives in Newport City.
okay, so are we?
We gotta check with Zach.
Hart,
Hart,
yes.
Is he a tree warden?
Yes.
If he is an arborist, or
I
maybe,
think we're pretty much covered. Just
maybe
getting
there
rid
will
of
be
the-
somebody in town that is.
Just getting rid of the
Right.
health officer.
Right.
Have they been busy doing that?
No, they've got a few calls, but
Okay.
they're right on top of it.
Good.
I just got one thing.
Okay.
I can't find it. Oh, Dean Russell, you know the guy that does our tax maps?
Yes. Russell Graphics.
Right. He wants to know if the select board wants to, the cost would be $700. Scanning your filed surveys. This is something I will have to do as my new scanner is in high demand and I am unable to leave it. Would the town be okay with a one-time fee of $700 to scan the surveys? And I said to him, what is the benefit of scanning the surveys? Because I don't see a benefit, but he said you will have all your recorded surveys backed up on a JPEG image. If anything happens to the original survey, you will have a backup. You will also be able to view and print your surveys on the computer. Most clerks are doing this for their deeds, but tend to forget about backing up the surveys.
What's a survey?
It's, a survey of your property, like we have Mylar maps that have surveys
Maybe, right.
in them.
Okay.
So I didn't know if you
So
guys
we
wanted to-
currently don't have those.
We don't do that. What he does is when he updates the tax maps every year, he comes in, he takes a picture with his camera or whatever, or like now he'll scan them, and then that's how he updates our maps. And then he gets a copy of our grand list.
Mhm.
That's how he updates all the maps.
So do we have the hard survey maps in
Yeah, they're stored in the vault.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So-
I don't see an advantage to it, to be honest with you. I don't,
I think it's
up to
gonna
her
make
if
your
she
job
feels-
easier
No,
than nothing.
no, because like if somebody like
It's
Jen,
nothing you're gonna reference unless something happens.
no, if Jen Jarvis comes in and does a title search on, let's say I'm buying your house and your land's been surveyed, she'll just take a copy of the survey map. We do it on a copy machine.
Right. And I don't see an advantage to it.
Okay.
It's just this time.
So if it was gonna make it easier here, then I would.
No.
Is it something he's gonna hold over our head later on?
Oh, no,
Okay,
no.
okay.
Well, every time you have a change, you're gonna have to update it.
Yeah, he does once a year anyway.
Yeah.
We put it in the budget.
That would be another cost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you'd be the one to tell us if it,
Yeah, I'll talk to him when he's coming in March 21st to get all the info for the, I think 21st, sometime in March, to get all of the map, the stuff, updated tax maps.
unless he can explain to you that there's a better advantage to it and,
And then we can put it in the budget for next year. And,
right, yeah. But
We just getting ready to adjourn.
No, sorry too.
No,
Been a long day.
Just, you got anything?
Well, Mike's contacted that guy with emails. He said you got all the emails he sent and he'd received.
Oh, for adage?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he said the guy's gonna do them both at the same time when he comes. And it's gonna cost him roughly $900 to $1,000. And he's yeah, no.
So, that's for the labor?
Yeah,
Material?
yeah, that's for his labor, the guy's
The
labor.
part is under warranty.
Yeah, supposedly.
Okay. Well, I also, Forster Olditch, their engineer, was here tonight for the USDA documents and stuff. And he's got connections at Adage, and I didn't know that. So he's going to call Adage and get on them too to
Yeah.
make it all happen.
And Mike
So-
said anyway,
Good, yeah. That was it. That's the only thing I had under the water and sewer.
And that letter from Grocery, we know where that comes from. You know, it's been bugging me for years.
Have you bulldozed that boulder?
It's still there. But if it is, it would greater wing, you know, but we're good to phone company and right put boulders right away. And I just thought, I didn't even know where it ever came from.
if you hit that with the grader, you'd know it, wouldn't you?
Well, you're going slow, but still, it's all ledge up through there. You can go look at it.
How big is that boulder?
Well, it's about that big.
Oh, I'm thinking it's the size of this table.
No,
Is it?
no,
Oh,
no.
oh, okay.
The grader, you come up against it lately, you know, it would move it, but I haven't done that because you gotta carry your wing
They-
above
According to the letter, it said that the wires are becoming exposed.
that. I have no idea. And the only thing reaches up there, because we can't plow close to it, because it's all ledge. The only thing reaches up there is the grader when we bring our banks back.
So
So-
I didn't want to hit the wires.
No, I don't want to either.
Right, so,
So we
Could
can
you-
discuss this,
I mean,
like-
you got the letter, could you go out there and inspect to see if the wires are
Like
close
they want
to,
to snow down
Yeah,
again.
right, to the surface and,
But he's,
10 inches of
I don't
snow.
want to
today,
say
yeah.
that about the camera going, but you know how I feel about that guy. Gary
and we understand that, we understand that.
So this is not.
Look, I mean, according to this,
We're
that
talking about
the
this.
pedestals were placed 2 feet out of the right of way.
I don't have to
and
go
I-
on the April agenda.
No, ain't no way.
They're right in the right of way.
Yeah, because it's a
Because usually
narrow,
they put them in the right.
and it's a narrow
I just-
spot right
Right.
there also.
Fred's gonna get.
And they're supposed to have them 4 feet deep no matter what,
Rossier
Right.
even
property,
if they have to blast.
Right.
So
When
I don't feel
weather
they were
prevents.
responsible.
No, I don't
for
think
Make
so.
sure
either.
that
I really,
the wires-
I'd argue that, because I
Yeah.
almost went and measured the room. So that's a narrow spot right there.
Subject to
Yeah.
the town
It'd be hard to beat a car with a plow coming up through there.
damage.
It'll break your plow or your wing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to say it again. Board asks Fred to inspect the property when the snow
But he
is
gets me
gone
once
to
a
be
year.
assured.
He really does.
That-
Wires are not going to be damaged by the town plowing or ditching.
No, we can't ditch there, you know, we can do nothing there, it's all ledge, it comes up this high on the edge of the road, it's all ledge.
Right.
I don't even know where the wire is.
Right, well, we need to know,
Yeah,
Just
I know
to-
where, I
so
know where
that-
the boxes are.
right, so that we aren't gonna destroy the stuff.
Yeah, we
Right,
don't,
he's brought it to our attention, so we'll.
Well, any of that stuff is supposed to be 4 feet deep anyway, even if they have to
I mean,
blast.
I've read the thing, it sounded like a phone company was too lazy to,
Well, years ago, we dug one up down on Route 14 below Albany, and it was only 1.5 feet deep. So they were gonna make the state pay for it. Well, when we told them isn't that supposed to be 4 feet deep? They dropped it and away they went.
Like I went on, I call it Champagne Road there by the underpass, I told you about it, but when you first started. And it was right over the end of my culvert, about as far, came in the road. And the guy was mad, when he mad, Steve told me, don't worry, we'll give him the right to put that in our road, you know, it's right in the road.
Yeah.
And so I had all kind of wires. But
Yeah.
I weren't done intentionally either.
Right.
No.
One pass.
But
and
it happens.
They
It
get
happens.
lazy and, you know,
Easiest route.
you wanna run a wire across the road, find a culvert, stuff it through it.
Yeah, there you go.
You
Yeah.
see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right.
Oh, I saw trucks with you heard about them, they got smashed up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And another one got a little bit again today.
Did-
The man there. What am I gonna do with him? I'm going up Bucking Hill, gonna make a hill. You know, I'm down in the pasture this time. If them trees weren't there, he's been down.
Did have it towed back on?
I went up in my truck, with chains on, and no chains on it. But a little damage to it.
Did he have chains on?
No, we've been running all day without him. But I think he's afraid of it. He's slowed down. He ain't getting the speed to get up there.
Well, you know.
I said something to him tonight about it.
Rightly so.
And he told me that fire me. No, I don't. I'm not actually talking to you. Fire you. I said, we gotta do something here. We used to do it 2 men, faster than we did it today. Biggest one we had. Me and Kerm or me and Sonny, we could do it. Which when you're chasing the truck over there, you're not getting nothing done over here. You know, it's hard up 3 men, 3 trucks. You ain't getting none of that. And I'm not complaining, but
Well, he's new. And
I agree, but that's 2 times. You told me the other day you had 3 changers. I mean, you had 2 already.
Is this his first year of plowing
Yeah,
for anybody?
yeah. I'd hate to put him on 10 wheeler this summer. I'd send him down the road, load of gravel. I'll tell you that. You would have no trucks next fall. It kind of scares me to
well,
even think about it.
summertime's a different story, Fred.
Yeah, it's not.
Winter roads. I mean, Mike put his in the ditch. Same day.
I understand that.
So, back to the 6-wheeler, it went to Clark's to have it
Yeah.
inspected?
Yeah,
Is it bent?
No.
Okay.
no, everything was good.
So did we get an estimate?
Got it yet.
Okay,
I got it on the Freightliner, $842.
okay. That's,
But it didn't pass. The lady called me and she was gonna try to have her manager put both claims into one.
okay.
I haven't heard nothing on
No, I don't think they can do
it. I
that.
don't think so they can either.
It has to be separate because it's 2 different year trucks.
And what's our deductible?
1,000.
1,000? So we're gonna just fix that ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
that
had
was not
most
too
of it.
bad.
You had most of it fixed, didn't you?
On the what, the 6-wheeler?
Yeah.
Well, we had
Needs a door.
needed the door.
Yeah.
And we called that
But
up.
I mean, it was usable.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was. We just had the rear end on the sander fixed
Yeah.
and put it back in place and put a new spring on the front.
Yeah.
New spring and airbag that broke. And it was road ready,
Good, good.
but now it's not again.
Well, maybe suggest that he use chains, you know, and
Well, I did. I've done him out with a 99 again. And put a change on him. We put him change.
Okay. All right,
But that's
Anything
why
else?
I had my change that noon, because I go for him.
The roads got slick in a hurry though.
Well, it's that warm snow.
That's snow.
Yes.
yeah,
Warm
you
slate.
pack it down
You
and
go over
white
it
ice.
once.
Turns to ice. Yeah,
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 yeah.
absolutely.
White ice.
As I went to Bear Mountain, the 18-wheeler grain truck, Joe LaFleur, halfway up to Charlie there, and I couldn't go no further. And I couldn't get down to him, and I couldn't go way around. And
Yeah.
so Charlie scraped the hill for him, and they came back on him, gravel, came onto my sand.
Do you have your chains on?
No, I don't like to run them anymore, I have to ruin the tires.
Well,
Oh,
it's hard on
Oh,
lots
is
of
it?
things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, vibrating everything when you go down the road.
Yeah.
You know, a manufacturer builds the vehicles.
Not the
So-
run chains.
Well, chains are for slow speed.
Right.
And it's all ice that's for
Yeah,
slow speed.
that's nice.
That's where the safety factor is the wheel can spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you stop the wheel from spinning by doing a load of sand and chains or whatever, You can break other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't break other things. You gotta be careful.
Something's
But I
gotta
have
give.
I have taken rides with chains on. That's not fun either.
No.
It's just like having a weird pair of ice skates.
Uh-huh.
I seen that too.
Oh, that's not fun.
Who's booked this one?
That's yours,
Yours?
Shane had that extra
Oh,
one
wow.
in his
Maybe
truck.
posters.
Then he had a few extra posters.
I got one of them today.
It was a different one, wasn't it?
Yes, that's it. I
That
thought
was
it.
2019. I don't know. So,
Did it say the Orange Book on it?
Oh, yeah. Well,
The one
yeah,
you
I'll
took
give it
home,
away.
did it say the Orange Book?
It does.
Like you guys want it.
Oh, yeah, that's,
I think that's for.
Oh, maybe he
Oh.
wants us to keep it here.
keep
Yeah.
it here.
Oh,
Yeah, because I've got one.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave it to you. Yeah, it's,
Has my name on it.
right,
And he
right.
said in case some of yours get wet or ruined, he had a couple extra.
I thought that was the same, but I wasn't gonna argue because
Here's
I,
the
well, but,
These new
Yeah.
prices.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, my wife, she turned 65 now.
We don't need an executive session, do we?
No,
your wife turned 65 already?
we ain't already.
she's almost
65
old.
years.
She's almost old you are, huh? She's almost old you are.
Well, you gotta catch up another year and a half.
I meant today, yesterday, tomorrow.
Well, just her.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that insurance, she's gonna do the same with her, you're doing to me, or,
I believe so, right?
you know,
I
that's
think so.
on that thing.
You'll have to buy her a new motorcycle.
Oh, no. Heard you sold yours.
I did.
Why?
You're gonna lose that. I had a chance to sell it. I sold it.
You want it, anyway. You want an automatic.
Yeah.
I know what you do.
That's the plan,
I
anyway.
get what you want.
All
Yeah.
right. Do we need an executive session?
I don't believe so.
I don't know of any reason.
Then I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion that.